I'm going to do another insight video today, and I've been doing over the last few days, I've been doing like a series of spiritual development tools and spiritual development discussions around using things such as universal laws, using sort of intentions, using visioning, using crystals, using meditation, um, and sort of like visioning using things like colours. And I'm just going to start talking about this again because I feel it's opening up the energy. It's opening up the energy for sort of like for spiritual development and spiritual growth, which is what this whole series is about. It's awakening to ascension, the ascension process. It's awakening to awareness. It's awakening to the fact that you are this being of source energy. And one of the biggest things that I've had over the last probably 6 or 8 months, or the last 10 or 12 months, of the things I've been talking about within my sort of within within my insights, but my own journey as well, are around sort of like source energy, and this concept of source energy, that we are a source being of vibration and frequency, and that we are sort of like we've got a source creator, and we create and manifest from vibrations, from frequencies, and that all comes from our source. And this is why I feel like, with the ascended masters and the archangels and guides, they've been sort of directing us back to this, and it's very much like this loop, this circle of sort of like where we keep going around it, like in this circle of vibrations and frequencies. The more we become sort of aware of source living, the more we become aware of source vibration, source frequency, the more we open up with awareness to our thoughts, our intentions, and how they manifest and create through our source energy. And this is the first step of opening the door into our source creator, which is the next step of sort of like that we're moving into within spiritual development and spiritual growth. That we understand, I've had impressions of like this diamond energy that's always around me, and this diamond energy very much connects to oneness vibration. It connects to the source. It connects to like presence, and presence again is having the awareness that you're in this vibration, you're in this frequency, and from that vibration, that frequency, you know you vibrate, you express something, a vibration, a frequency, and then it's created and it's manifested within the 3D reality. And this is why I've talked about like mirroring, and I've talked about like the importance of source energy, and universal laws, and the universal law of correspondence, and like learning to sort of like work within the universal law of correspondence. You learn to work from your center, your source energy, your source vibration. And this is like one of the stepping stones, to start to like live more spiritually and live within your source, but start to know that you're a source, that your source creator, um, your source creator is your essence. The essence of all creation is vibration, is energy. And again, I've talked about things like the universal laws, and I've talked about the universal law of polarity, which is an important one. And I've talked about this over the last week or so, and it's very much around sort of like that. The universal law of polarity is always explained like in positive and negative, but for me, it's more about vibrations, and it's about like that understanding the infinite source that works within us, and the fact that we have we can create from a different sort of different parts of that scale. So you've got like I said, talk about vibration. Vibration creates and manifests. You can create like joy, laughter, fun, happiness, love, compassion, peace, serenity, all those kind of things that are higher vibrations. But you can also create vibrations of fear, doubt, worry, stress, anxiety, um, insecurity, all those kind of things. And they are vibrations, they are frequencies. And spiritual development and growth is understanding that from your source energy, you hold all vibrations, you hold all frequencies. And it's the understanding and the awareness. And this comes into again with Saint Germain, and the violet flame. And it's sort of like spiritual wisdom and consciousness, the understanding that you can transmutate. And transmutation is this understanding, this awareness that through your source creator, you have infinite vibrations, and you actually can create and manifest the vibrational frequency that you want within your reality, within your life. And it's about understanding that transmutation is a tool, it's a gift that we're all blessed with, that we can use to shift and dissolve and purify and release vibrations. So if something's, we're going to have things that happen externally to us, and the universal sort of like law of transmutation, transformation, and Saint Germain teaches us with the wisdom and the consciousness that when a negative vibration comes in, all we have to do is go within our source energy, our source vibration, release it, and then replace it with something. Replace it with something that we want to manifest, that we want to create. And this is how the universal law of attraction, inspired action, and correspondence, universal law of correspondence, inspired action, compensation, all work. Attraction, they all work in together. All four of those laws work together. You create something from your source, you send it out there, then the law of attraction attracts that, that vibration that you've created, then attracts within your reality sort of like events, people, opportunities into your reality from that vibration that you've created from your correspondence. Inspired action as well is the understanding that, when you're in your source and you're open this channel within the infinite source, then the universal law of inspired action allows you to open up as a source channel to receive source consciousness, source wisdom, and then that will bring in from your higher self a insight or wisdom or knowledge that then you express externally. So that's the inspired action. You're inspired by source consciousness, which is flowing into your higher self to activate it, to bring that knowledge, that wisdom online. And this is what Saint Germain works with, and also Raziel, Archangel Raziel, works with source consciousness, source wisdom, source understanding. And then the compensation is what you create, you receive, or you experience in that sense. So the compensation is what you create and you express, you experience. That's the compensation. It's like that in the sense of like the universal law of like relativity. You experience what you create. It's relative. And it also allows you, the universal law of relativity teaches you also connects directly to the universal law of polarity. That what you create is relative, but also I feel like the universal law of relativity is telling you as well that it's relative to sort of like understanding. It's relative to knowledge and wisdom and creation. And what's meant by this is everything's relative. So when you start working with your source energy and your source vibration, you see the opportunity, you see the teaching in every experience, and then what you do is you grow from it, you learn from it, because it's relative. It's relative to your journey, it's relative to your experience, what's going on with you. So what you start to do is then you understand that the universal law of relativity is showing you that, an experience or an event that happens to you is there for a teaching. It brings you wisdom, it brings you insight, it brings you understanding. You can release it, you can purify it, you can dissolve it, and then you can move on, and then you can start to express and approach things in a different way, because it's relative. It brings knowledge, wisdom, and teaching in that moment. It's about presence. The universal law of relativity connects directly to presence. So it gives you the understanding that from your source energy, your source creator, and again through transmutation and transformation, you can dissolve things. And it's there to bring you wisdom, it's there to bring you teaching, it's there to bring you understanding. And you dissolve it, you release it, and then you create something new. You create a new experience, a new beginning, a new understanding of awareness and consciousness, and you relate it to that experience. There's many things that are coming in at the moment in relation to this, and these are all spiritual development tools. I've talked about crystals and how they hold the frequency of source energy, and they're used because they're sort of like created within the earth energy, within caves, You know, they're always sort of connected. They're always unified with source energy because they're directly connected to the earth, and they're directly connected to source, because the source energy is like the earth frequency is a reflection of source energy, of pure source energy, of pure source creation. And the crystals hold that. And what they do when we use them is we hold them in our hands, and we hold them within our energy frequency, on our energy system, and they remind us that we're source energy as well, that we vibrate with that infinite source consciousness, that infinite source energy, and they open up our energy centers so we can once again be aligned and unified with source energy. So the universal laws teach us, and they work with us in every moment of our spiritual development, our spiritual journey, our spiritual growth. And we're always growing, we're always expanding, and we're always sort of learning. And then through that learning, then we start to apply that to our consciousness and our awareness, and then we start to then open up our vibration, so we become more open channels to that source wisdom, that source consciousness. And we also open up then to the fifth dimensional reality that opens us up to the infinite guides, ascended masters, archangels that work with us. We are beings that are constantly open as an open channel. And the more we open up to source living and source understanding and source awareness, the more we become an open channel to live from source. And when we live from source, then we open up to the wisdom of all these beings, of all these different realities that are bringing consciousness to this planet and our reality, so that we can start to then live in a different way, express and create vibration and frequency in our lives that's more unified with our source energy and our higher selves. Because the whole purpose of this is to awaken to our higher selves. Because once we awaken to our higher selves, we're opening that infinite source wisdom and the infinity symbol of 8, which is the infinite flow of source energy that's always connecting with us, and then it activates our higher self. So then we start to live with purpose, we live with wisdom, we live with higher consciousness, and we live in a more spiritual reality, in a more spiritual way. And we dissolve we dissolve. It's not like we dissolve the 3D reality. We learn to become less attached to it, and then what we start to do is we live in a fifth dimensional reality where we're open to source energy, and then we start to express from the fifth dimensional vibration and frequency. And then when we live from the fifth dimensional vibration and frequency, we start to create from the fifth dimensional vibration and frequency that then expresses into the 3D reality and manifests and creates the 5D frequency within our external reality. So we start to live in a 5D reality, and the 3D reality is then mirrored with our 5D sort of wisdom, our 5D consciousness, and our 5D intentions. The 5D intentions are very much around union, harmony, collective consciousness, collective wisdom, because the 5D reality tells us that we're part of a whole source energy, source vibration that's infinite, and we're connected to many beings and many vibrations and many realities at once. And this is the universal law of oneness again. We're back to the universal law of oneness, vibration and frequency. I'm talking about this in this way because I'm trying to show you how things connect. You know, that there is no limits. Half the problem we have within our spiritual reality and spiritual journeys is we think we're limited, but because we can't be limited, because we're born of source, and in that infinite source is infinite vibrations, and the infinite flow of the universe is again this infinity symbol of 8 that connects us to source energy. We are infinite beings. We are not limited. Limitation is something that we have within our physical minds, and when we're connected to the 3D reality, we believe that we're limited. We're not. We're infinite. We're an infinite source vibration that's always receiving vibrations, always receiving consciousness, always receiving wisdom, and all we have to do is activate and live within our source energy and source vibration and connect and link with our higher selves. And the wisdom, the answers, the understanding will always be there. All we have to do is daily sort of try and remain present with that vibration, that source. And again, this is where meditation comes in, because meditation allows us to connect, release surrender and dissolve, and then it also allows us to open up to that source energy, which is always aligned with our higher selves, and then it allows us to activate and connect with our infinite selves, our higher selves, and it allows us then to live and express from source energy and from our source creator and from our higher selves, and then we start to vibrate and create and manifest from a different place of wisdom and consciousness and awareness. And this is what our journey is, and that's the insight for today.